All right, ready for another deep dive? Always. Today, we're going to be talking about Hannibal. Oh, wow, Hannibal Barca. Okay. And his campaign against Rome. Oh, right. During the Second Punic War. Interesting as it can be fun. Yeah, I know you're a military history buff. Huge fan, so this'll be right up your alley. I've been looking forward to this, son. The question we're going to be looking at today is, how did this Carthaginian general, starting all the way over in Spain, manage to bring the fight to Rome's doorstep? Yeah, that's always fascinated me. Like, how did he even conceive of such a plan? Right. And pull it off to a certain degree. Yeah, he's a fascinating figure for sure. He really is. And for military minds especially, he represents like a turning point in warfare. He wasn't just a conqueror, right? He was an innovator, a true innovator. So before we get into all that, sure, I'd like to go back a little bit. Okay, let's set the stage for us. All right, can you kind of tell us what was going on between Rome and Carthage? Well, the Second Punic War, it wasn't just a rematch, right? It was a clash between two different military philosophies. Oh, wow. Yeah, it all boils down to power. And who controls the Mediterranean? Okay, you see, the First Punic War, which had ended just a couple of decades before, had left Carthage a little bruised. No. They'd lost control of key territories like Sicily and Sardinia. Right. And the treaty that ended the war, the Treaty of 226 BC, basically put them on a very short leash. I see. Imagine if you were a proud, powerful empire, and suddenly you're being told where you can and can't expand. Right, you can't even practice on your own field anymore. Exactly. So how did that treaty, lead to the Second Punic War? Well, it created like a pressure cooker, right? Because the treaty restricted Carthaginian expansion north of the Ebro River in Iberia. Okay. But the problem was, right on their doorstep, was this city called Saguntum, prosperous trading hub allied with Rome. Right. It was like a Roman thumbtack. Oh. Right in Carthaginian territory. Wow. A constant reminder of their defeat. So Saguntum was like the flashpoint. Yeah, I could have set everything off. Yeah. So Hannibal, who was already a rising star in the Carthaginian military, he saw an opportunity. Right. He laid siege to Saguntum in 219 BC, a direct violation of the treaty. Well, now, some historians argue he was acting on his own initiative, maybe even defying orders from Carthage. Interesting. But regardless, the siege lasted 8 long months. Wow. And eventually, Saguntum fell. Right. Rome, predictably, was furious. They demanded that Carthage hand over Hannibal and withdraw from Iberia. Okay, so wait, Carthage has this incredible, talented, ambitious general array. He's just won this huge victory. Even if it was kind of provocative, right? They think they could just hand him over to Rome. You have to understand the political climate in Carthage at the time. Okay, Hannibal was a hero. He brought wealth and glory to Carthage. Right. Handing him over would have been political suicide. Makes sense. So they refused. Okay, and so that's the official start of the Second Punic War. Precisely. Rome declares war. And everyone expects Hannibal to do what any sensible Carthaginian general would do. Right, attack by sea, launch a naval invasion. After all, Carthage was known for its navy, a powerful navy. Instead, Hannibal decides to flip the script. That he goes by land. But not just any land route. No, he marches his army from Spain, across the Pyrenees Mountains through Gaul, over the Alps. That's crazy. That's insane. It is. It's audacious, right? And insane. Yeah. But that's where we start to see Hannibal's military genius. Like his ability to think outside the box. He understood that Rome expected a naval attack. He also knew that the Gauls, many of whom harped up resentment towards Rome, could be valuable allies. I see. So he chose the most unexpected, most dangerous route, a route that would catch Rome completely off guard. Okay, but even with the element of surprise, right, we're talking about moving an army with all its supplies and equipment, across some of the most treacherous terrain in all of Europe. Right, that's what I don't get. Was that even logistically possible? Yeah, that's the part that blows my mind, right? Remember, we're talking about ancient times. Yeah. No paved roads, no modern transportation. Right. We're talking about tens of thousands of soldiers, horses, pack animals, and get this, war elephants marching through mountains. Oh my God, a hostile territory. Yeah. The logistical challenges were mind-boggling, yeah, but somehow Hannibal managed to pull it off. It's like a scene out of Lord of the Rings. Totally, except with elephants instead of orcs. There's elephants, but at that journey had to take a toll on the army. Absolutely, yeah. By the time Hannibal's forces descended into Italy, they were a shadow of their former selves. Wow. They had lost thousands of men, countless horses, and most of their elephants to the harsh conditions, right, skirmishes with hostile tribes, and just the sheer difficulty of the terrain. Just that terrain itself, well, was brutal. So he arrives in Italy. What was Rome's reaction when they realized that it wasn't just some barbarian chieftain reading their border? It was a full-blown Carthaginian army. Panic. Panic. To put it mildly, wow. They scrambled to mobilize their legions, but they were clearly caught off guard. Yeah. They underestimated Hannibal's strength, his speed, and most importantly, his tactical brilliance. Okay. This led to a series of early encounters that, well, didn't go so well for the Romans. So Hannibal, even with a depleted army, starts racking up victories against Rome. I'm talking about making an end. I know, right? Could you tell us about those early battles? Sure. Trebia. Yeah, Lake Trasimene. What made Hannibal such a formidable opponent? Hannibal was a master of deception. Okay. He could anticipate his enemies' moves and exploit their weaknesses. Take the Battle of Trebia, for example. Okay. Hannibal deliberately lured the Roman army across a freezing river. Knowing they would be exhausted and vulnerable. Right. And then he sprang a surprise attack. From both flanks, inflicting heavy casualties, securing a decisive victory. He's not just a brave warrior. Right. He's a strategic mastermind. Yeah. Thinking several steps ahead. And Lake Trasimene? Trasimene. Wasn't that where he pulled off one of the most famous ambushes in military history? Yeah, Lake Trasimene was a masterpiece of tactical planning. Why? Psychological warfare. Okay. Hannibal knew that the Roman consul Gaius Flaminius was hot-headed and eager for glory. I see. He deliberately provoked Flaminius, leading him into a narrow valley, shrouded in fog. Then, as the Roman legions marched blindly forward, Hannibal's forces sprung the trap. Attacking from the surrounding hills. Wow, so he used the terrain itself as a weapon. Exactly. Turned the fog into a shield for his troops. What was the outcome? A complete massacre. Wow. The Roman army was decimated, and Flaminius himself was killed in the battle. 2 major victories in 2 years. Unbelievable. Rome must have been reeling. What was their next move? They definitely started to grasp the magnitude of the threat. Yeah. Their legions, renowned for their discipline and effectiveness, were being outmaneuvered and outfought. Wow. They needed a new strategy. A new leader who could counter Hannibal's unconventional tactics. And that's where Fabius Maximus comes of. Yes, the delayer. He recognized that direct confrontation with Hannibal was a losing proposition. So he adopted a completely different approach. Right. A strategy based on attrition and avoidance. He shadowed Hannibal's movements, harassed his supply lines, and refused to engage in a major battle. So he was playing keep away. In a sense, yes. Yeah. He was trying to wear down Hannibal's army, hoping that logistical challenges and dwindling supplies would eventually force him to retreat. Yeah. Interesting. The Fabian strategy, it was smart. Yeah, it was really effective. It frustrated Hannibal. Yeah, I bet. It denied him that decisive victory he needed to cripple Rome. And it forced him into a protracted campaign that he wasn't prepared for. You can be the best battlefield tactician in the world, mate, but if you can't feed your troops, it's all for nothing. Exactly. But was it popular in Rome? No. It was deeply unpopular, really. Yeah. Why? Because, remember, the Romans, they were used to aggressive warfare, facing their enemies head-on. So this cautious, almost passive approach went against their very nature. Yeah, like watching a burglar rummage through your house, while the police just stand outside. Exactly. They wanted a hero. They wanted a decisive victory. No, not some drawn-out war of attrition. So did Rome. Caved to public pressure. They did, yeah. And what happened? It led to one of the most iconic and devastating battles in military history, Cannae. Cannae, the battle that's still studied. Yes, it's military academies today. To this day, that cemented Hannibal's reputation as a tactical genius. For our listeners who aren't as familiar with this battle, give us a quick rundown. Okay, so imagine that, it's 216 BC. The Roman army is larger than ever before. Wow. They're determined to crush Hannibal once and for all. Makes sense. They significantly outnumber the Carthaginians. Oh, Hannibal. Yeah, knowing he can't win a straight-up fight, great. He devises this brilliant plan, okay? It's audacious. Nay, it's the crescent formation. Yeah, okay. He deliberately weakens his center, right? Allowing the Romans to think they're winning. As they advance. Hannibal's stronger flanks swing inward, encircling the entire Roman army. It's like a giant pincer movement. Circulating in from all sides. Yes, wow. The Romans packed tightly together. Yeah, they have nowhere to go. Worry? They're surrounded, they're trapped, and they're slaughtered. Oh my god. Cannae was a massacre. Wow. Tens of thousands of Roman soldiers were killed. Yeah, including a consul, and a significant portion of the Roman Senate. Oh, and that's like losing a head of state. It is. And a big chunk of your government. Exactly. It's a wonder Rome even survived. It is. So, after Cannae, Hannibal is basically at the gates of Rome. Why didn't he just march in and finish the job? That's the million-dollar question. Yeah. It's puzzled historians for centuries. There are a number of factors at play. First, Hannibal's army, while victorious, was depleted. Right. They needed to regroup. Makes sense. Resupply, tend to their wounded. And they didn't have the siege equipment, necessary to take a city like Rome. But couldn't he have rallied, the people of Italy? Yeah, who resented Roman rule. So that's the other key point. Hannibal gained some support, from Italian cities, tribes who saw him as a liberator. But that support was never unified, or reliable. The Romans, despite their defeats, still held considerable sway over Italy. Over much so it's not as simple as just marching into Rome and declaring victory. It's not. He's facing political complexities, logistical challenges, and a Roman enemy that, despite being bloodied, is far from broken. What does Hannibal do next? He continues to campaign in Italy. He wins more battles, and he tries to solidify his position. But he's facing another challenge, one that's thousands of miles away. The political situation back in Carthage. You mentioned earlier. Yeah, not everyone in Carthage was thrilled about Hannibal's war. That's right. It must have been hard. To fight a war on two fronts. It was, one in Italy, the other back home. Exactly, the Carthaginian government was divided. Some factions supported Hannibal wholeheartedly. Others were more concerned with protecting their own wealth and influence. They saw Hannibal's war as a drain on their resources and a risky gamble. They were willing to send the reinforcements and supplies that he desperately needed, so he's stuck in his stalemate. Facing a resilient Roman enemy. Limited support from his own government. On top of all that, there's another development. The Siege of Syracuse. Now, I have to admit, this part always confused me. What does a siege in Sicily have to do with Hannibal's campaign in Italy? It might seem like a tangent, but it's crucial to understanding the big picture. Remember, the Second Punic War wasn't just a conflict between two armies. It was a clash of empires, a struggle for dominance, over the entire Mediterranean. So Syracuse, being this major Greek city in Sicily, was strategically important, very important. When King Hieronymus of Syracuse decided to break his alliance with Rome, and side with Carthage, that was a huge blow, really, to Roman prestige, and a strategic victory for Hannibal. Even though he wasn't directly involved, even though he wasn't there. Wow, so this seemingly distant conflict, yes, that impacted Hannibal's campaign. Big time. I have to ask the other big name. Associated with the Siege of Syracuse. Go on? Archimedes? Oh, Archimedes? I mean, we all know him. Yeah. Lika story. The math and physics? Right. All the math and physics stuff. What's a guy like that doing in the middle of a war? That's the beauty of history. You have these larger-than-life figures, these geniuses, who end up playing unexpected roles in world-altering events. Okay, Archimedes... with his incredible intellect, inventive mind, became a one-man defense force for Syracuse. Wow, so he's using his brain. He is to fight the Romans. Yes. Can you tell us about some of these inventions? Oh yeah, he turned Syracuse into a scientific fortress. Wow. He designed these massive cranes that could lift Roman ships out of the water and then drop them. Oh my God. Causing them to capsize. That's incredible. He developed powerful catapults that could hurl huge stones with incredible accuracy. Wow. Keeping the legions at bay. And then there's the death ray. Ah, yes, the legendary death ray. With a death ray. Yeah, like something of a science fiction movie. It's more science fact than fiction, really. Accounts from ancient historians describe a system of mirrors, that Archimedes used to focus sunlight onto Roman ships, causing them to catch fires. Who's using the power of the sun, as a weapon. Yes. Now there's some debate. There is whether this was actually possible with the technology of the time. Yeah. So it's kind of a historical mystery. It is a mystery, but even if it's a myth, it speaks to the awe and fear that Archimedes inspired. He was like a wizard. Yeah, a wizard using his knowledge to confound the mighty Roman war machine. His ingenuity and resourcefulness prolonged the siege for years, forcing the Romans to commit significant resources and manpower to capture the city. And this is all happening while Hannibal is still running circles around them in Italy. Correct. So even though these two events are geographically separate, they're interconnected. They are both putting pressure on Rome, challenging their dominance. Absolutely. And this brings us, to a crucial turning point in the war. So we've been talking about Hannibal, his incredible campaign in Italy. Stunning victories, challenges he faced. But we know, Hannibal didn't conquer Rome. Nope. He was eventually defeated. So what happened? What happened led to his downfall? That's the question, isn't it? Fascinated military strategists and historians for centuries, like this unstoppable force, outmaneuvering, outthinking the Roman army time and again, but ultimately falling short, There's no single answer, of course, but a confluence of factors, so we've talked about some of them. We had logistical challenges, political divisions back in Carthage. Well, one crucial element is the sheer resilience of the Roman people, that Roman grit. They suffered some catastrophic losses early on. Entire legions wiped out, decimated, but they never gave up. They never give up. As dropper aspera, to the stars through hardship. The stars through hardship. And they really lived by it. They did. Didn't they also have a shift in leadership? They did. They had animated difference. The emergence of Scipio Africanus. Oh, Scipio Africanus. That name marks a turning point in the war. Young general. He had studied Hannibal's tactics, learned from Roman mistakes, and he realized that to beat Hannibal, he had to take the fight to him on his own terms. So what made Scipio such a formidable opponent? Well, he recognized that Hannibal was a master of battlefield tactics. So instead of trying to beat him at his own game, Scipio focused on strategy, targeted Hannibal's supply lines, disrupted his alliances, ultimately forcing him to abandon Italy, and return to Africa to defend Carthage. It's like a chess match. It is, I can't outmaneuver your opponent on the board, You start taking out their piece, and by wise till they have no choice but to surrender. Great analogy. So that's essentially what Scipio did. That's exactly what he did. Well, he campaigned in Spain, cut off Hannibal's reinforcements, and then launched an invasion, daring invasion of Africa, forcing Hannibal to leave Italy, the land he had dominated for over a decade to face this new threat, a new Roman threat. And so this leads us to a final showdown, a battle of Zama, 202 BC. A clash of titans. It really was two military geniuses, two brilliant minds facing off A battle that would decide the fate of empires. And the fate of the world in a way. And as the end, Scipio outmaneuvered Hannibal. He did. Used his own tactics against him. Yeah. To secure a decisive Roman victory. That's right. Wow, so after all those years, defying Rome, achieving victory after victory, it's incredible Hannibal is finally defeated on his own soil. What a tragic end. Yeah, for such a brilliant military mind, it's a reminder. It is that even the greatest generals, right? Even the most innovative strategists, are not immune to the tides of history. The tides of history, right? Hannibal's defeat marked the end of Carthage's challenge to Roman dominance. Wow. And it paved the way for the rise of the Roman Empire. And what happened to Hannibal? Well, he actually survived the battle. He did. Yeah, he returned to Carthage, entered politics, tried to rebuild his city, restore its fortunes, but Rome never forgave him, demanded his surrender, and Hannibal, knowing he would never be safe, his exile. Well, so even in defeat, he refused to be captured. He did. He spent years wandering the Mediterranean, seeking refuge, plotting his return. Wow. He eventually found himself at the court of King Prusias of Bithynia, a kingdom in what is now modern-day Turkey. Right. And there he met his end. When Roman agents closed in, rather than be taken prisoner, he took his own life. Wow. Swallowing poison. What a dramatic and tragic end to such a remarkable life. He was brilliant. Brilliant general. Cunning strategist. Symbol of defiance. Against an overwhelming power, he was larger than life. What makes these deep dives so fascinating, is that we uncover not just the historical events, but also the stories of the individuals who shaped them. Absolutely. The heroes, the villains, geniuses, the tragic figures, and we delve into the complexities of war, the strategic thinking, the political maneuvering, the human drama, that unfolds on and off the battlefield. So the next time you crack open a history book, or watch a documentary about ancient battles, just remember, there's always more to the story. Always more. Always those deeper layers. Waiting to be explored. That's right. So, until next time, happy history hunting. Happy hunting.